The NBA playoffs are here, and it's been living up to the hype. We've already seen 3 Game 7s, multiple 3-1 comebacks, insane game winners, and a poster for the ages. Even just one round in, this postseason made a few things very clear. SGA has officially taken the crown for the best player in the world. Not only is he the betting favorite to win his second MVP in a row, but he's seemingly taken his game to another level these playoffs. Against the Suns, he put up averages of nearly 34 points and 8 assists per game. Included in this was a Game 3 masterpiece where he scored 42 points on a ridiculous 15 of 18 shooting from the field. To put that into perspective, this is just the 7th 40-point playoff game of a player having a true shooting percentage of over 90%. During the regular season, there were conversations heating up over who the best player alive was: Shea, Jokic, Luka, or Wemby. Even though we are only one round of the playoffs, Shea has taken that title. Jokic is coming off one of the worst playoff series of his entire career and is yet to make it back to the conference finals since winning the chip back in 2023. Wembanyama has been nothing short of phenomenal, but his lack of postseason experience and success renders him short of this title as of now. Luka took home this year's scoring title and could easily be a threat to Shea's number 1 position. Let's not forget that we are just 2 years removed from him outplaying SGA and eliminating his Thunder in the second round. But how can you be the best player alive if you aren't even on the court? As it stands, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player alive whether you like it or not. He has the numbers, accolades, and postseason success to back it up. And while other superstars are bowing out early to teams that aren't even at full strength, Shai is doing the opposite, putting the team on his back even in the midst of Jalen Williams' absence. Speaking of putting the team on his back, we have to talk about LeBron James. In what may just be the greatest career of all time, LeBron just did something that may be more impressive than everything he's already accomplished. In the first round, his Los Angeles Lakers took on the 5th-seeded Houston Rockets. Going into this series, it was announced the Lakers would be without Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, the team's top 2 leading scorers. This meant they'd be relying on a 41-year-old LeBron James to carry the load. And how would he respond? Doing what he always does, and defying all logic. In 6 games, LeBron would lead both teams in terms of points and assists. His averages of 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game willed the Lakers to a stunning series win, extending his record for most playoff series won by a player with 42. But it's not just the numbers that are amazing, it's how he did it. Dominating physically, demonstrating leadership, and coming up clutch when his team needed him most. In Game 3, the Lakers were trailing the Rockets by 6 with under 30 seconds left. The game was all but over, and history highlights this. Up until this point, only one team had ever come back from a deficit of this margin with under 30 seconds left. Enter LeBron James. After cutting Houston's lead to 3, LeBron would poke the ball away from Reed Shepherd. This set him up for the game-tying shot, which he nailed to tie the game at 101. From there, the Lakers would carry this momentum into overtime and come out on top. What James is doing at 41 is simply remarkable, and now we get to see him in at least 4 more games. The best player alive against arguably the best player ever. The NBA scriptwriters cooked with this one. With their Game 7 victory, the Philadelphia 76ers became just the 14th team to overcome a 3-1 deficit. While the Celtics were without Jason Tatum for Game 7, there's no excuse, because the Sixers were without their MVP in Joel Embiid for Games 1 through 3. Since his return, the team has looked anything but a 7th seed. In the 4 games against the Celtics, Embiid put up averages of 28, 9, and 7 on 53% true shooting. He completely changed the tide of the series and had arguably the best playoff performance of his career. In Game 7 against the Celtics, he scored 34 points to go along with 12 rebounds and 6 assists. Up until this point, the 76ers had got an NBA record 0 of 18 when trailing 3-1 in a series, while Boston was a perfect 32-0 when holding a 3-1 series lead. The Sixers would go on to win this one by 9, but it wasn't just because of Embiid. Tyrese Maxey stepped up in a big way, scoring 30 of his own while adding in 11 rebounds and 7 assists. This officially makes him and Embiid the first teammates in NBA history to each put up 30, 10, and 5 in a Game 7. But most importantly, he scored 2 clutch baskets late in the game that ultimately closed the door on the Celtics season. Outside of these 2, other key pieces have stepped up to the plate as well. Rookie sensation VJ Edgecombe continues to prove he's among one of the best in his class, while Paul George is filling his slot in as a role player perfectly. Philly is now set to take on the Knicks in the second round of the playoffs, and if they can get past the original Eastern Conference favorites in the Boston Celtics, there's a real chance we see them playing in June. The Sixers knocking out the Celtics isn't the only shocking outcome of the first round. As I mentioned earlier, we had the Lakers take down the Rockets, but we also saw the Timberwolves upsetting the Nuggets as well. Denver came to the playoffs riding a 12-game win streak and looked like one of the few teams that could realistically win the chip. Nikola Jokic was fresh off his second season in a row averaging a triple-double and named an MVP finalist. Jamal Murray put together his best season yet, recording a career-high 25 points per game. Other key pieces like Aaron Gordon and Cam Thomas further elevated the league's best offense. And for a team that struggled with injuries all season long, they were finally getting healthy at just the perfect time. It looked as if the Nuggets were poised for their best chance at a title since their one in 2023. The Timberwolves shut the door on any hopes of that and eliminated the Nuggets in just 6 games. What makes this thing even worse for them is the fact that Minnesota wasn't even close to full strength. Both Dante DiVincenzo and Anthony Edwards went out with injuries in Game 4, leaving the Wolves to rely on players like Ayo Dosunmu to step up to the plate. Fortunately for them, he did that and then some, but even he couldn't escape the injury bug and was ruled out for Game 6. Yet even then, Minnesota found a way to win behind Jaden McDaniels' 30-point explosion. For a team that failed to reach 100 points only twice in the regular season, Minnesota held Denver under this mark 3 separate times in their 6 games played. Rudy Gobert was a big reason behind this, holding Nikola Jokic to one of his worst series ever. Through 6 games, the Joker shot just 44% from the field and under 20% from 3. For someone that's been widely regarded as the best player in the world, he didn't show it. And while this doesn't negate any of his previous accomplishments, he definitely missed a legacy-building opportunity. In terms of debates with the all-time greats, numbers will only get him so far. He's in need of that second title if he ever hopes to cross the top 10 ever threshold. But besides this upset, we also saw a 7 seed beating a 2 as I mentioned earlier, as well as an 8 seeded Magic team pushing the 1 seeded Pistons to the brink of elimination. While Detroit did ultimately pull off the 3-1 comeback, it took an injury to Franz Wagner and one of the greatest playoff collapses of all time to get it done. This postseason has shown that any team can win any series, and when you look at the East in particular, the field is wide open. Realistically, any of these 4 teams remaining could make the finals. These playoffs haven't just been entertaining, they've been a reminder. You can dominate for the first 82 games all you want, but in the end, it's the last 16 to 28 that truly matter. This first round proved that, and what we are witnessing is NBA history being written before our own very eyes. And the best part, we're just getting started.